head down as we get started. So I do like to introduce myself in all of my videos. My name is Tianna Christine, and I am a yoga teacher throughout the DMV area. I do travel and go different places, but DMV is my home. I like to start off my classes with an intention. If you've seen any of my classes in person or have attended any of my classes, since Christmas, one of my friends blessed me with this great gift of intention cards, and I like to share it with my class. So every day I pick an intention word, and today's intention word is clarity. I don't know if you can see that clearly, but clarity is our intention word for the day. And I really want that to just kind of ground us in our practice as we go along. Knowing that you have that clarity, listen to your body. Do what works for you. I don't want you to overexert yourself. This is a practice. It's not a perfect. So please keep that in mind when you're doing your practice today. All right, let's get started in a seated position. I'm going to turn the bed up a little bit, and we're going to have some fun. Always like to start with the breath, because with the breath, that is the basis of yoga. It's syncing the breath with the movement. So every time you move, you want to make sure that you're breathing. All right. You can just sit here in a nice, comfortable position. We're going to do our Ujjayi breathing. That's breathing in through the nose and exhaling with an open mouth. All right. We're going to do 5 of them. So take an inhale in through the nose. Hold, exhale, breathe out. Audible breath. 4 more. Inhale in. And exhale. Release the shoulders, release the tension in the body. Inhale in. Exhale, breathe out. Let your body soften. 2 more. Inhale in. And exhale, release. Last one, just let it all out. Inhale in. And exhale. You can close your mouth. Feel that hum on the back of the throat. Continue that breath. Continue the breathing throughout our practice. Going to bring that right ear down into the right shoulder. Extending that opposite arm out in line with your hip onto your fingertips. Feeling that stretch along the arms and the neck. Remembering to have the ear come down to the shoulder, not the shoulder up to the ear. On that next exhale, bring that arm back in, neck to neutral, and over to the opposite side. Again, you can extend out your hand. Feeling that stretch along the neck, along the shoulder. Allow that shoulder to release down. Those fingertips in line with the hip. And on that exhale, bring it back in, neck to neutral. Take that chin down towards your chest. Finding length in the collarbone. Allowing those shoulder blades to come down. On your next inhale, bring that gaze up towards the ceiling. Chin comes up towards the sky, resting the head on the back. And on your next exhale, coming back to neutral, we're going to take those shoulders up to our ears. Take them up. Notice where they are. And release them down on your exhale. Again, take them up. And release them down. Notice where they are down, maybe moving that neck out. Do what feels comfortable for you. Move around those shoulders. We're warming up our bodies. We're going to bring our arms overhead. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, you hinge forward to the mat. Coming down, wherever you are, coming down. If you need blocks and you want to put blocks underneath your hands or books, that's completely fine. Even a pillow is okay here. Allow those hands to come down. Allow that head to come down. Your gaze is down towards your toes. Allow those forearms to release, giving yourself length in between your ears and your shoulders. Walking your hands over to the right side. Feel that stretch along your side body. Wherever you are, even if you need to come up a little higher, that's completely fine. Getting into twist is what the most important part of this is. On that exhale, coming to the left. Those twists are really great for detoxing your body, getting things moving through your body. Coming back to center, maybe seeing if you can come a little bit deeper than where you were originally. Just allowing that lower back, that hip to release, allowing your body to hinge forward. And on your next inhale, walking those hands back up towards the body. Allowing those shoulders to come down and back behind you. Those hands are right behind you. The fingertips are outstretched behind you. I'm going to lift that chest up nice and high. Allow that head to come back, gaze up towards the ceiling. Chest nice and high. On that exhale, come back to your seated position. We're going to do our cat-cow sitting down first. So on that exhale, we're going to arch the spine. We're going to bring that chest in towards our shoulders, arching it up like a cat. And inhale, bring it in. Gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring it out. Inhale in. And exhale out. 2 more. Inhale in. Exhale out. Last one. Inhale in. And exhale out. Make little circles. Really release that tension. We're going clockwise and counterclockwise. Very nice. Coming onto our hands and our knees, we're going to our tabletop position. If you're having any pressure in the knees, you can use a pillow, you can use a pad, or you can wrap your yoga mat up to where it's right on your knees. That way you don't have to have so much pressure on your knees. Use whatever is comfortable for you, whatever is available for you. When we're looking down at our wrist, if we're having any wrist issues, we gently turn our wrist out to where our index fingers point forward. If not, those middle fingers are tracking forward. Our feet are hip distance apart. Our knees are nice and wide, shoulder width apart. The backs of our feet are untucked. Top of the feet are on the mat. That's for balance, okay? We're going to begin to move our hips all around. Move those hips in circles. We might hear a little snap, crackle, pop. That is okay. We're warming up our bodies. You can go as fast or as slow as you like. This is your practice. And going around to the other side. Coming back to stillness, back to that tabletop position, that neutral spine. Nice neutral spine here. We're going to take that right foot out behind us. We're flexing that foot down towards the ground. The heel's coming down. We're flexing out our shin, our calf. Get that flex. We're light onto those wrists. We're heavy in the knuckles and the fingertips. We're going to take that right foot over top of the left foot and cross it over to the opposite side of our mat. Really feel that stretch within the hip here. Both hands are giving us balance. We're nice and even in our weight and of our hands. Coming back to center, we're going to bring that knee back in. Going over to our other side. Flexing that heel down behind us. Feeling that stretch in the calf. One more breath here, and on our exhale, I'm going to bring that foot over to the opposite side. Again, we're feeling that stretch and that opening of the hip. On your next exhale, bring that knee back in. We're going to tuck our toes under this time. Gently push our weight back, shifting that weight back towards our heels. Little toe stretch here. Strengthening those ankles, really being able to warm up the body, maybe moving the hips, giving a little toe stretch here. Come back to a nice neutral spine, untuck the toes. We're going to do our balance, a little bit of strength building here. Going to take that right foot out behind us again. See if you can lift that right foot. The toe is facing down. It's right in line with the hip. You don't have to lift it far. Feel free to hold on to a chair or the wall within this practice if you need it. We're going to take that knee, bend the knee in towards the chest, bring it up, bring the nose down. Take it back. And bring it in. 3 more like this. Take it back. And bring it in. Take it back. And bring it in. Last one. Take it back. And bring it in, arching up. And lower the foot down. Coming to the other side. Allowing those wrists to be light. You're heavy in the knuckles, heavy in the fingertips. Other foot. Going to take that foot up, toes face down. On that inhale, bring the knee up through, arch the spine, knee to nose. And take it out. And bring it in. And back out. 3 more. Take it in. And out. And 2. And back out. And last one. And take it out. Take those knees down. I'm going to show you a child's pose. If you know it, you can go ahead and go into it. Taking those knees out as wide as your mat, allowing your big toes to touch behind you. Shift your weight back towards your heels. Allow those hands to come out in front. This is our child's pose. This is a pose you can take at any point throughout our practice. This is going to help to just give you that time, that space to catch your breath, to just be here in your practice. You can always rejoin in the practice wherever we are. Want to give you that option very early in case you need it. On that exhale, bring that gaze back towards your hands. We're going to bring those hands in towards our shoulders. Come back to our tabletop position. Bring those knees back. We're going to bring that right leg through. So you're going to bring that right leg through to frame the hands. That foot's going to come down. That knee is bent. That knee is tracking right over your ankle. Making sure your arms and your hands are square. Get that balance first. Maintain your foundation before we come up. On your inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Allow those shoulders to come away from the ears. Feeling that stretch of that back hip. On the exhale, we're going to bring our hands down into Superman arms, bringing that belly onto the thigh. That gaze is down on our mat in front of us. We're going to do this breathing flow 5 times. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands to Superman arms. You're in your flat back. Inhale up. Exhale, flat back. Inhale up. Exhale, flat back. We got 3 more. Inhale up. Exhale, flat back. And 2. Exhale to your flat back. And last one, let's make it count. Inhale and exhale to your flat back. And lower your hands back down. Very nice. Bring that knee back. We're going to swap out, bringing the opposite knee up. Frame your hands. Even if you need to use that hand to get it up, we're good there. All right, once you've got that foundation set, bring the arms up overhead. Again, you're going to feel that stretch on this side now. We're stretching out that hip. Bringing that gaze up. No tension on our lower back. This is also really good for that lower back. No tension here. Again, on that exhale, flat back to our Superman arms, belly on the thigh. And inhale and come up. We're going to do that 5 times. Exhale, bring the belly down, flat back. And inhale, come up. With your breath, exhale, come down. And inhale up. And 4. Inhale up. And 3. And come up. Again, that back foot is for balance. And 2. And back up. And last 1. And bring your hands down. Stepping back to your tabletop position, move those hips out. Taking those knees to stillness, we're going to tuck our toes. We're getting ready for our first downward facing dog. We're going to push up from our knees. Push those knees up first. Bring your hips up to your first downward facing dog. Paddle your feet out here. This is our first downward facing dog of the morning. You move those hips, move your knees. Gaze is down toward your toes. You're pushing away with your hands. Bringing those feet to stillness, allow the heels to come down. You're shifting your weight back toward your heels, those shoulders away from your ears. Allow that head to fall. On your next exhale, bringing your gaze toward your hands, walk your feet toward your hands, forward fold. Taking a look down at our toes. That second toe is tracking forward. We have about hip distance between our feet. And with that hip distance, we can make about 2 fists in between our feet. Our head is loose. We're going to do a series of yes and no's. Shaking our head, releasing the tension. Grabbing opposite elbows for Ragdoll pose. Allow those elbows to come down towards the mat. Releasing the tension in your lower back. Looking down at your toes, I want you to bring your weight, shifting that weight into the balls of the feet. So you're going to shift forward slightly. Feel the back of those legs start to activate. That gaze might turn behind you now. You're releasing that tension in your head. Allow those elbows to shift from left to right. Really opening up the back of those legs. You're going to feel this stretch. We want to feel a stretch, not pain. If you're feeling pain, you back out of the pose. Listen to your body. Bringing those hands down to the mat for our flat back. Bringing that nose towards the knee. We're going to bring our hands to our shin for our flat back. Flat back, extending the arms, shoulders come back, gaze is down right in front of you. Right down on your mat. Flat back here. Exhale, forward fold. On your inhale, you're going to bring your arms up overhead, come to standing. This is our extended mountain pose here. Arms overhead, they can touch if you like. And then exhale, we're going to go into our sun salutation. So we're at the top of our mat. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your hands to shin for your flat back. Plant your hands down onto the mat. We're going to step back to our tabletop position first, getting ourselves ready for our flow. Again, if you don't wish to flow and you don't want to lower yourself to the ground, you can always come straight to downward facing dog. You don't have to go through this flow sequence here. If you want to, you can lower yourself all the way down onto the mat, elbows in. Bringing that gaze up towards the ceiling, your elbows at a 45-degree angle. Feel that lower back start to activate. On that exhale, lowering the head, tucking the toes, shift towards your tabletop position and to your downward facing dog. Downward facing dog is where we will meet if you don't want to flow through. Bringing that gaze towards your hands, walking your feet towards your hands, forward fold. On that inhale, come all the way up. That is our sun salutation. We're going to do that 5 times, warming up the body. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to shin, flat back. Planting the hands, again, you don't have to flow. If you just want to step back to a downward facing dog, you can do that here. If you want to flow, lower yourself down toward your plank, elbows in, push up to your cobra, upward facing dog, and push back to your downward facing dog. We're all here in our downward facing dog. Bringing the gaze towards the hands, walk the feet towards your hands, forward fold. On your inhale, come all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, 4 more, forward fold. Hands to shin, flat back here. Planting the hands, step back and flow. Again, if you don't want to flow, just come to your downward facing dog and we will meet you there. Bringing the gaze towards the hands, walk the feet towards your hands, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale for 3. Going to our forward fold. Hands to shin for flat back. Planting the hands down, step back and flow or down to your downward facing dog. Bringing the gaze towards your hands. Walk your feet towards your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale for 2, forward fold. Hands to shin, flat back. Planting the hands down, step back and flow or down to your downward facing dog. Bring the gaze towards the hands. Walk, step, or jump to the top of the mat. I'll show you on the last one how to get that hop in. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, our last one, forward fold. Hands to shin for flat back. Who's getting warm? Plant the hands, step back and flow, or back to your down dog. We'll meet you there. All right, if you'd like to hop to the front of the mat, you can always put a bend into those knees. Gaze is forward. Jump to the top of your mat, forward fold. If not, go ahead and walk to the top of your mat. On that inhale, coming all the way up, arms overhead. Very nice. We're at the top of our mat here with our hands together. With our right hand, we're going to grab our left wrist and hinge towards the right. Again, breathing, coming back to your breath. Bring that gaze up towards the ceiling, opening up that shoulder. On that exhale, coming back to straighten, we're going to swap out the wrist and bring the gaze in the body down to the left. Gaze up towards that elbow, up towards the ceiling. And exhale, come back to center. Bringing those arms and that gaze overhead, slight shift back. Bringing yourself to a little back bend here. And exhale, bring the arms down. We're here in our mountain pose. And with our mountain pose, we're nice and strong in our mountain. Nice, strong mountain here. So those feet, again, are hip distance apart. Our shoulders are back and down. Allowing ourselves to just be here. Allowing ourselves to catch our breath. We're going to shift our weight into our right foot. Shifting that weight into the right. We're going to bring that left foot up towards the front of the mat with the heel down. The toe faces back. Flexing that toe back towards our bodies. We can bring ourselves to a wall for balance if we need it. Maybe even a chair that's nearby. Flex those toes back. And then now take it back behind you with the toes. Let's see if you can bring yourself on the ball of that foot. Stretch that hip back. So that ball of that back foot. You're bringing that foot right behind you. This time I want you to turn towards that back leg. Turning towards that back leg. And bring that foot back up. Shift the weight into the left leg. We're going to do it on the same next leg this time. Same thing. Bringing that heel forward. We're flexing the toes back towards us. And again, we're taking that foot back. On the back of the ball of the foot. Get yourself balanced here. The object of this is being able to balance ourselves on both feet. We're going to need that for the next series that we're getting ready to go into. So this is our foundation. This is getting us ready to get that balance in. I want you to turn and look towards the back. Look towards that foot that's back. Turning your gaze behind you. Looking back to the center, coming back to your mountain pose. You're here in your mountain pose at the top of your mat. All right, we're going to start on that sun salutation B. Let's get ready. So we're bringing our feet to the top of our mat. We're going to put a bend into our knees. So put a bend into your knees. Allow that belly to come towards the thighs. Bringing those hands to the outside edge of your feet. You want to get the fingertips down. If you're not able to get those fingertips down, you can use a block or just hang out right here. The idea is getting that squat. So you're squatting down, shifting the weight into the heels. We're going to bring our arms up overhead for our chair pose. If you don't like your arms here and it may be a little uncomfortable with the shoulders, you can bring the arms back for Superman arms if that's comfortable for you. The whole idea is getting into that squat position, nice long back. We're not going to arch the spine up. We're going to keep the spine nice and neutral. On that exhale, we forward fold. So we've done this one before. Hands to shin for flat back. Planting the hands down, we step back to our downward facing dog or we flow. We've done this one before. And from our downward facing dog is where we're going to switch some things up a bit. We're going to bring that right leg through to the top and bring it in to meet the hands. If you don't feel comfortable with bringing that foot through like this, you can always come down onto the knee and bring it through like we did in the beginning. Whatever's comfortable for you. Either way, we're going to meet with our foot in the front. Bringing that foot in the front, we're going to shift that back foot 45 degrees. That pinky toe edge of the foot is going to be on the mat. Bringing your arms up for your warrior one. We bend into that front knee. We feel that stretch on the back thigh. Bring our gaze up towards the ceiling. Our arms and our shoulders are away from our ears. On that exhale, we lower our hands back down. We step back and flow or step back to that downward facing dog here, whichever one's comfortable for you. Moving on to the other foot. Bringing that leg up and through, whichever way to get you there. Shifting that back foot 45 degrees and bringing yourself up to your warrior one. Now in these warrior poses, anytime that knee is over the ankle, you want to check out your alignment. Looking down at your toes, do you just see that big toe? Making sure that hip is tracked to the front of the mat in the direction of the toe. On your exhale, lower your hands down. We step back and flow or step back to downward facing dog. Bringing the gaze towards the hands, we walk, step, or jump to the top of the mat, whatever's comfortable for you. Forward fold. Bending your knees and sitting back in your chair. Whatever works for your shoulders, whatever arm variation works for you. On that exhale, forward fold. Hands to shin, flat back. Planting the hands, step back and flow, or come to your down dog. Bringing that right leg up and through to frame the hands. Shift the back foot 45 degrees, pinky toe on the mat, bring it up, warrior one. We bend into that front knee. We open it up to our warrior two. That gaze is over our right ring finger. That back arm is to a T. Allow those shoulders to come away from the ears. That hip is tracking forward. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Drop the back arm, lift the front arm towards the ceiling. Gaze up towards that hand. On that exhale, windmill the hands down. Frame the foot. Step back and flow. Back to your down dog. And bring the opposite leg up. Bringing it through, frame the hand. Shift the foot back. Warrior one. On that exhale, open out warrior two. Maintain the bend in the knee. Gazing over that left ring finger. Keeping that back arm nice and strong in your T. Your toes root down on both sides. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Who's getting warm? I know I am. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Step back and flow. Again, bring the gaze towards the hands. Walk, step, or jump to the top of the mat. Back to your forward fold. Putting a bend into the knee. Sitting back in your chair. We're only going to do one more of these. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to shin, flat back. Planting the hands down. Step back and flow. We'll meet in down dog. Bringing that right leg up towards the sky. Bending it and bringing it through to frame the hand. Again, we're going to pivot that back foot 45 degrees. Coming up for our warrior one. We exhale, we open out to the warrior two. We've been here before. Reverse our warrior. I'm going to add one more pose to this sequence. On that exhale, that front arm is going to come down on the forearm. Sweep that arm up overhead. This is our side angle pose. Allowing that forearm to be down onto the mat. Not your belly. We're keeping that chest nice and high. Gaze is up towards the ceiling, up towards that hand. Stacking those shoulders. One on top of the other. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, you windmill the hands down. You step back and flow. We're all back in our downward facing dog. We lift the other leg up towards the sky, bending it and bringing it through. Frame the hand, coming to our warrior one position. Exhale, open up warrior two, bending into that knee. Inhale, reverse our warrior. And on that exhale, on this side, bring the forearm down onto the thigh. Sweep the arm up overhead, gazing up towards that hand. Stacking those shoulders, chest nice and high. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And on that exhale, windmill the hands down. Step back and flow. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Bringing the gaze towards the hands. Walk, step, or jump towards the top of the mat. Forward fold. And sit in your chair one last time. Nice long spine, getting that weight into the heels. And exhale to stand. Ooh, shake it out here. All right. How we doing? Allow yourself just to move those hips. Move those hips just a little bit. Make little circles. Catching your breath. Going the opposite way. Bringing those feet to stillness. We're going to shift the weight into the right foot. Shifting that weight, rooting down onto the feet. We're going to bring that foot up. So if you just want to have yourself on the ball of the foot, you can bring it here. Keeping it here, you don't have to bring it up. If you'd like to take this a little bit further, you're going to hug that knee into the chest. Hug that knee in. Feel that from the lower back. You're going to be rooting down on that glute, rooting down on that foot. Feel that glute start to activate. Hug that knee into the chest. If not, you're here. You're feeling that glute still activate. Either way. Feel free to hold on to a wall if you need to. Hold on to a chair if you need balance. You're rooting those toes into the mat to keep you stable. On that exhale, lower that foot. Come into the other side. Again, bringing the foot up. You're on the ball of the foot. Keep it here. If you want to take it further, you can. That's when you bring that foot up and bring that knee into the chest on this side. Whatever's comfortable for you, wherever you are, listening to your body in this moment. I'm going to take one more breath. And lower down. Very nice. Shake it out. We're going to bring ourselves back to the top of our mat. Inhale, bringing the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, bringing everything down. Grab opposite elbows again for our ragdoll pose. Maybe take those feet out just a little bit wider than hip distance. Allowing yourself to rock back and forth. On your rock back and forth, allow that head to release. You're rocking back and forth. Drop the hands down. Allow them to rest in the center. On that right toe, we're going to lean towards the right toe. So bring your hands around that right toe. And now turn that right toe out towards the side. Turning that right toe out towards the side. Frame your foot with your hands. So you're turning your body toward your hands. Maybe that other foot shifts back to make you comfortable. Your head is going to fold towards the inside of that knee. You can put a bend into the knee if you need to. Allow that head to release down. You're releasing that head down towards the mat. We're going to inhale, bring both arms up overhead, rooting down into the feet. Interlace the hands behind you. Allow those shoulder blades to connect. So we're interlacing the arms, allowing those shoulder blades to come together. You can definitely stay here if you like, bringing that gaze up towards the sky. That chest is nice and high. Counter stretch to all of that hovering over at a desk, at a computer, on the phone, sitting on the couch wrong. And if you'd like to take this a little bit further, we're going to hinge forward towards that knee. One more time, but we're going to bring those arms with us. Taking those arms overhead. If this is too much to take the arms overhead, feel free to leave the hands behind you, right on your back, right on that lower back. Palms are down towards the back. If not, allow those arms to come overhead. Let them release with every breath. Just let the arms come forward. Feel that stretch on the shoulders. Our feet are supporting us, both feet. On your next exhale, you're going to come up one vertebrae at a time. Nice and slow, rooting into the feet. Head will come up last. Bringing the arms back overhead, counter stretching. And exhale, forward fold again, framing the hand. Turn that foot back in. Come back to center, walking those hands back to center. And over to the other side. Turn that foot out. Again, we're hinging towards that foot, the inside of the knee. Feeling that stretch from the legs, maybe the hamstrings, your hip. On that inhale, bringing the arms up overhead. Interlacing the fingers behind us. Allowing those shoulder blades to come together. Chest nice and high, gazing up towards the ceiling. And on our exhale, we hinge forward towards that knee. Arm placement is up to you, wherever you are. Again, with every breath, just allowing those arms to release down. And on your exhale, coming up and nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time, allowing that head to come up last. Bringing those arms back overhead, counter stretch. Exhale, lowering the hands back down to frame the foot. We come back to center, turning that foot back in. Give it a little lean towards the right, bending the knee, straightening the left leg. Lean towards the left, bending the opposite way. One more time, lean towards the right. And then rock towards the left. Coming back to center. We're going to hinge and bend our bottom down towards the mat. Little squat here. Bring your hands behind you. We come down onto our bottom, bringing those feet to the top of the mat. So we shift our body all the way towards the top of the mat. Bring those knees in. Maybe hugging those knees, bringing that head down. And then lowering ourselves all the way down on our backs. Lowering all the way down. Relax here. Palms up. We're not done yet. You're going to hug each knee into your chest till you have both of them in. Rock from left to right. Taking your knees towards the ceiling. Draw little circles in the ceiling with your knees. Allowing that lower back to release. Go in the opposite way. Keeping the knees together as much as possible. We're going to take those feet, put them flat on the mat. Allow that spine to be flat on the mat as much as possible. Those toes are going to be tracked forward. Knees are hip distance apart. I want you to tilt that pelvis so you can get that spine flat on the mat. Even if you try to get your hands underneath, there's no arch in the spine. Allow yourself just to really come down. Allow your body to really just melt into the mat. I want your spine to be nice and flat. No arch here. No pressure. Come into your breath. I want you to feel how your spine is just at zero. Your spine is nice and flat. This is really good if you're having any lower back pain, just for allowing your spine just to be at neutral. Keeping those shoulders down. Taking 2 more breaths. Allowing that spine to be just still for a moment. And on your exhale, we're going to hug our knees into our chest one at a time. We have both of them in. We rock, keeping them together, bringing those arms out to a T. Keep your knees in. We're going to take our knees over to our right side. This is our supine twist on our right. We turn our gaze opposite of our knees. Turn your head towards your back hand. Feel that stretch and that release from your lower back. If your shoulder doesn't quite meet the ground, it's okay. Here's where you let the breath and gravity take over. The benefit of this stretch is when you just allow your body to release. So with every breath, just notice where you're holding on to tension. And on the exhale, just release that portion of your body. Maybe in your neck, your shoulders, your hips, or your knees. Allow your body to surrender. On our next exhale, we're going to engage our core, keeping those knees together as much as possible, taking the knees back up to center, coming back onto your back, and bringing those knees over to the opposite side. Supine on our next side. Again, you take that gaze opposite of your knees. Allowing your body to surrender. That gaze is down towards that hand. Those arms are in a T. Allowing those shoulders to release. Allowing those knees to get nice and soft. Allowing the earth underneath you to rise up and support you on the mat. Again, on this side, noticing that our bodies are not symmetric. Maybe one side might be a little tighter than the other. Allowing your body to release wherever it is. Just let go on the exhale. Release the neck, your shoulders, your lower back, your knees, your toes. Unclench your fingers. Let everything release. We're going to engage our core. Bring our knees back to center. Come back onto your back. Take those knees wide. Take your knees towards your shoulders. Nice wide knees. Rock from left to right. Hands are on the shins. Give it a little rock on your lower back. We're going to bring those feet down onto the mat. Knees bent. We're going to cross our right foot over our left. Wide cross here. Nice wide figure four cross. That ankle is going to come right over the knee. So we're not going to have that ankle on the knee. And on that exhale, we're going to lower that top foot down onto the mat. Let it cross over your body. Let that foot fall on the mat. Feel that stretch on that hip, that lower back. Bring your hands back out to a T. And then turn your gaze again away from your knees. Turn that gaze away. Feel that stretch along that hip flexor, along that lower back. Feel that internal twist. On your next exhale, come back to center. Bring that foot up, come back onto your back. Uncross the foot. Give your knees a little rock from side to side, like a little windshield wiper. Taking your knees back to stillness. We're going to cross our other foot over our body. Nice wide figure four cross here. Again, that ankle is not on the knee. And when you're ready, this time you're going to cross that other foot over and down onto the mat. Allow that foot to fall onto the mat. Crossing it over your body. Hands are out to a T. Turn your gaze away from your hands. You're allowing that body to soften. Feeling that stretch of the hip. And when you're ready, bring that knee back up to center, back onto your back. Uncross your knee. Rock the knees from left to right. You're going to bring both feet up towards the sky. Flex the toes down towards your body. Feel that stretch on the back of the legs. Allow that spine to be flat. Spine is flat on the mat. You're pushing down onto the mat, making that spine nice and flat. Release the shoulders, release the jaw. We're going to lower that right foot down towards the mat. Let that foot hover here and bring it back up. And let the left come down, hover, and bring it back up. We'll do that 2 times on each leg. Lower down, and bring it back up. Lower the left, and bring it back up. And the right, last one, and bring it up. And last one on the left, and take it back up. We're going to bend the knees, hug the knees into the chest. One more pose here, bringing those feet down wide as the mat. Allow your hands to come down, palms up. Walk your heels into where your fingertips just meet your heels. We're going to do a counter stretch, our bridge pose, rooting down onto our hands. Push your hips up towards the sky in your bridge pose, rooting down onto your feet, engaging your quads, pushing up, using those glutes to push yourself up. And on your exhale, lower the hips. Give your knees a rock. We'll do one more, bringing those fingertips towards the heels. Rooting down and pushing up towards the ceiling. Maybe that chin comes in towards that chest. Allowing those shoulders to release down. Push up just a little bit higher. And lower yourself down onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest one last time. Give yourself a rock from left to right. And lower your legs down by your side. Bring those arms up overhead. Flex and point your toes. Like we're getting out of bed, we're stretching our bodies. And on that exhale, lower the hands down by your side. You're lowering your hands to whatever's comfortable for you. Allow yourself to be nice and still here on your back. We're just releasing tension from our body, starting at the crown of our head, unclenching our jaw, relaxing our tongue, allowing our fingertips to get soft. Our shoulders are soft and on the mat. Our hips in contact with the mat as much as possible. Our knees, ankles, and toes are heavy on the mat. We're coming back to our breath, back to our intention that we set for our practice. If you were sharing in my intention of clarity, maybe allowing yourself to get clear about things that you need to work out in your mind. Allowing yourself to be present here within this moment. Focusing on the inhales and the exhales. Allowing your body to surrender into the mat. Here's where you scan over your body. Notice any areas that you're holding tension. And on your exhale, just allowing your body to release the muscles. We're preparing our bodies and our minds for our day, knowing that we're moving with a sense of clarity, clarity in our decision making, clarity in our thoughts. I'm going to take 2 more breaths of silence. Gently bringing awareness back into our bodies and back into this space. We wiggle our fingers and our toes, inviting movement back into the body, allowing our breath to deepen. And when you're ready, gently hugging your knees into your chest, one knee at a time. Rolling over to our right side, cradle your head if you need to. Again, giving yourself this time, taking up space. Using your top hand to push you up into a seated position in which we started. Your arms, your head, legs don't have to be folded if you don't want to. You can if you like. We're going to take those hands to heart center, our thumbs into our chest. We're going to first thank ourselves. Thank yourself for showing up for you today. Thank your body for showing up and supporting you in your practice. I thank everyone who decided to join me today in this practice. I thank you, and I want to thank you for allowing me to share my practice with you. I wish you all the best in your day. Take this clarity, take this energy with you off the mat and onto your day. Thank you so much. Have a great one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the practice.